Hi, this is Mistress Sutherland and I'm doing another little tour of my dungeon. It's been a few years since the last one, and if you ever watch that, you'll see immediately that I have quite a lot of new pieces. So I thought we'd have a little walk around and take a sticky beak inside the door and see just what goes on in Carisbrook and what sort of pieces I have collected. Now, as people know that in this is the smallest room in the dungeon. It's my little sling room. Now, when my friend Irene Boss was visiting me, she called it the booty room. It's full of mirrors so that naughty people can watch themselves being violated. Now, if we come out into the main dungeon area, you'll see a little conversation area with chairs and comfy sofa to sit on while you discuss your BDSM interests. I always like to point back at the sofa when I'm playing and say, remember those days when you're having a chat with me? Those days are gone. Time to communicate is when you're negotiating, not during session. Now, here are some of my newer pieces. I have the large bondage wheel from Fetters in the UK that was sent over on a ship, and apparently it's officially exercise gear, but it's a beautiful piece of bondage equipment and all upholstered in genuine, deliciously scented leather. Then here we have my bondage chair. You can see that winch on it which ratchets it back bit by bit until the poor submissive is hanging backwards with their legs in the air, ready for any kind of invasive procedure. I have a little dog box stocks there and a beautiful ball cage that I normally hang suspended in the middle of the room with the slave helplessly inside. There's a leather body bag, my gorgeous, glamorous throne with a variety of equipment and all the paddles and crops and floggers that you could want, along with the chain web for bondage, an array of cages, lots and lots of different toys, hoods, leather bondage gear, anal toys, ropes. And in this cabinet we have 3 or 4 different electro boxes, all the attachments that you could want, piercing supplies, sounds, all that have been run through the autoclave and everything else. Here is a nice A-frame for flogging or other torments, a long horse that I also use, and my cell where slaves get locked in. Now, up the stairs to the south floor, I love to use all the different zones of my play space. I get bored if I'm just playing in the same few square meters. I like to move around, leading my slaves by a collar and leash to ensure that they get where I want them to be. And here we have a variety of other metal implements. And of course I have more of my favourite Fetters pieces, the inversion rack and the whipping bench. Though, as I've said before, I think that should be called whipping, spanking, nipple tortures, CBT and strap-on bench, because it's incredibly versatile and useful. I have a traditional St Andrew's cross and leather straitjacket, and of course this long bench which is perfect for mummification. Lots of chains for chain bondage, cock stock, a chair where I can receive foot worship, and of course here a lovely tall standing cage. Now, glancing over the other side, you can see a whole variety of a few pink frilly things. Let's go over there and take a look. So coming down the stairs, trying not to get too overwhelmed looking around at just the enormous array of beautiful equipment. Everything is a lot of my things are tucked out of the way, as I don't like it to look too cluttered. But there's everything you could desire. you can see here a selection of single tails, a large selection of different single tails from some of the world's best whip makers. All sorts of bondage equipment, latex, leather, gas masks, isolation hoods, all sorts of wonderful things. And in here we have my schoolroom, where a lot of role play goes on. Naughty boys seated at the desk, the metronome ticking out the time of their punishment. I've just been spanking someone, hence my disciplinarian attire. And you can see there the array of implements that they were subjected to. The cane and a variety of wooden paddles. On the wall, the school map of Australia. You'll see Her Majesty peering down, and my school pet lives in this antique case. And in here, when we open this door, we see a large array of canes on one side, and on the other, a selection of the latex that I have for slaves to wear. I have probably 4 or 5 different cat suits, latex dresses, latex hoods, stockings, gloves, all the things from turning an ordinary person into a rubber slave. Just a variety of different books, some awards I've won from presenting at DomCon, and a variety of different things that can be used to enhance my school role plays. Now, I'm not going to show you my little kitchenette area, but if we go up the stairs to the south floor, we will see a beautiful array of lovely frilly things. I do a lot of cross-dressing. Oops, excuse me. I do a lot of cross-dressing and very much enjoy having males transformed into females, whether they're going to be wearing beautiful frilly pink dresses, or if they're going to be attired in a more conservative fashion, perhaps role play as a schoolgirl downstairs in my schoolroom. I have a very formal maid's uniform that looks more like Downton Abbey, and then of course the short slutty versions. A whole array of shoes and boots, from thigh-high boots to mules, everything from a size 9 to a size 15, to make sure that even the largest clodhoppers, masculine clodhoppers, can be transformed into a pretty princess for me to play with. A huge amount of wigs, all beautiful quality makeup, and of course in all these drawers we have piles and piles of gorgeous lingerie in all different sizes, because as I say, girls come in every shape and size. Now this area is quite domestic. We have a horse, with a hairbrush ready to smack someone's bottom. The satin sheets on the bed, very romantic as Madonna would say. And a few restraints laid out enticingly for the next naughty girl or boy who's going to find themselves in my clutches. So as you can see, when I'm here on the Juliet balcony, I'm the queen of all I survey, and I really enjoy looking down across my world and taking control and owning any male who comes into my orbit and submits himself to me.